In this video, we are going to attempt directed writing question section A for our paper 2, and that is we are going to write a speech with proper guidelines about its format, tips and techniques. So let's begin. On this slide, you can see the two texts about the school council, and then the question is read text A and text B in the insert and then answer section A question number 1. The question is, imagine you are a pupil in a school which does not have a school council. Write a speech to be given in a school assembly, giving your views on whether or not students should participate in decisions made about the school. In your speech, you should evaluate the views given in both texts about student participation. Number 2, give your own views based on what you have read about whether a school council would benefit students and teachers. Base your speech on what you have read in both texts, but be careful to use your own words. Address both of the bullet points. Begin your speech. Thank you for coming to listen to me today. As we all know, these are the instructions. Write about 250 to 350 words. Up to 15 marks are available for the content of your answer, and up to 25 marks for the quality of your writing. So next step is planning your response. Once you have read the text, identified relevant opinions, that is, you have underlined the points, ideas and attitudes and bullet pointed these in your own words, you should then spend 5 minutes planning your written response. In your plan, number 1, decide on your voice and point of view. Use the VARP technique for it. Write a statement that summarizes your point of view based on your reading. Note down which points you can develop that support your point of view in your first paragraph. Decide whether you are going to make a counter argument. Of course, we have to make. And note down which points you can develop to support this. So we are also going to use the Aforest or the Forest technique. Return to your main argument, ensuring that you have included ideas and opinions from both texts. Note down the points you can make to address the second bullet point in the task, and that is you are going to give your own views which are not directly written in the text. Last, note down how you are going to start and finish your response, ensuring that it establishes the correct style and tone. Now, on this slide, you can see the VARP technique, and that is very useful whenever we are going to attempt a directed writing question. VARP, V stands for the voice, that is tone and personality of the writer. A for audience, the intended readers or recipients of the text. R stands for register, the language, the level of formality or informality of the language. P stands for purpose, the reason or goal of the writing. So this VARP acronym you always have to remember when you are going to attempt a directed writing question. It is a valuable tool for writers to consider when crafting their text, ensuring that their writing is effective, engaging, and appropriate for their intended audience and purpose. So now we are going to discuss what are the points that we are going to tackle with, or we are going to add in our evaluation process when we are going to attempt the speech writing question. So from text A, these are on this slide you can see some of the points that you can take, and you are not going to mention Mr. Aziz because it is just what you are going to have a general impression or general viewpoint, that is about your viewpoint about the student council. And the text A and text B, again you are going to pick up those points which you think you can evaluate easily. On this slide you can see some of the points from text B. So you have to make the list of those points, and then you are going to decide that I'm going to use one or two in each of my paragraphs. On this slide you can see some of the useful phrases, links and conjunctions, because we know the register, the kind of language, it is totally different from other magazine article or report. So when you're going to write a speech, you are going to address the audience, you're going to grab their attention. Again, on this slide you can see some of the valuable phrases: agreement, giving examples, concluding, and disagreement. So you are going to use these phrases before we are going to attempt the actual speech writing question. Now we are going to discuss what is Aforest technique that we are going to use for our speech writing. So first of all, let's see what does Aforest stand for. So here on this chart, as you can see, Aforest means A, alliteration, F for facts, O, opinions, R, rhetorical questions or repetition, E for emotive language, S for statistics, and T stands for triplet or three rule of. On this slide you can also see better elaboration of this Aforest technique, and make sure that you are going to use it in your directed writing task. It will help you to write a better version of whatever you are going to write, whether it's going to be magazine article or speech or any other question. So as you can see, Aforest technique is better explained here also. Now let's read two model answers related to the question of whether we are going to have a student council in the school based on the two texts that we have just read and the planning and the points that we have collected. As you can see on this slide, this is one of the model answers with the beginning or introduction of the speech, and on right side you can see the comments. This is one just sample, and you can see how this speech task, directed writing task, has been divided into various paragraphs. And let's see how this student has elaborated the points, adding his own viewpoints. That is our content point number 2. Evaluate. When we are going to evaluate 2 points from the text A to either 1 or 2 from text B, then afterwards we are going to add our own views. So, and how this student has concluded, and after this we are going to read another sample, and then we are going to analyze how that student has used the Aforest technique in it. Now let's read another model answer, and that is again the same question, but this time we are going to see how this student has used the Aforest technique in a very skillful way. So here, as you can see on this slide, the beginning of the speech, according to the format, you have to address the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to discuss an idea that has the potential to transform our school for the better, the establishment of a school council. Remember that you are going to focus on the use of various punctuation marks also in your directed writing version, whatever you're going to write, because after all you have to remember all the time that this is a language paper and you have to check your spelling, grammar, punctuation, and even your handwriting also. So as you can see, the second paragraph, the Aforest technique has started. Picture this: a platform where students like us can voice our opinions, tackle real issues, and actively contribute to the improvement of our school environment. So the third paragraph, as you can see, the opening lines, as we have discussed how to begin the new paragraph with a new point, and of course from text A, from text B, we have to be selective. So as you can see, this speech continues, and on this slide you can see the counter argument is also coming. However, some may argue that involving students in serious matters could be risky, or that we might not be mature enough to handle such responsibilities. To them I say, look around. Aren't so again a rhetorical question, aren't we already entrusted with various responsibilities both in and out of the classroom? Furthermore, the guidance from teachers and staff can ensure that our efforts are channeled effectively and constructively. So when you're going to use the counter argument, then of course you are going to use rebuttal also, and then you would come back to the major point on which you are going to convince your audience. Of course, it's a speech, so you have to grab the attention, but in this model, as you can see, Aforest technique is used in a better way. And how the student has just concluded the last paragraph. In conclusion, a school council is a step towards a more inclusive, proactive and empowered student body. Let us seize this opportunity to make a real difference in our school. Thank you. So as you can see, this was our another model. Now let's analyze how this model answer has used the points from text A and text B. So let's see from text A what are the points that have been used in this model answer. So on this slide, as you can see, from text A, number 1, real issues and commitment, and these are the 2 points that are evaluated. And then from text B, these are the points 1, 2 and 3, as you can see, and 4 also. These are the points that have been evaluated, and these points collectively support the argument for establishing a school council in line with the guidance from both texts. And of course, the next we are going to analyze how the counter argument has been used in this model answer. So as on this slide you can see that this is the relevant part of the model answer, where a counter argument is given for the student council. So I think you have learned a lot, and last but not the least, let's see this checklist, which is going to help you a lot when you are going to recapitulate what you have done once you have finished. So use this speech writing checklist and compare your answer with it. I hope you have learned a lot from it. So goodbye and good luck.